Okay, then we move on. Mimi, let's stop at Stamford Bridge right quick. And where is Chelsea? What's going on?
Where Chelsea,
They
Chelsea is
seem to
in
not be in the
Chelsea,
conversation anymore.
Chelsea is in El Dorado right now. Yeah, I don't know if you know about El Dorado.
Yeah, of
We
course.
are in a place, a manager that's bringing a good feeling. We're playing champagne football, that premium soccer, and I'm really proud of the boys. What we've been able to do, first of all, coming from a 2-0 down, the hunger, the fire, the passion, where typically you see teams go 2-0 down, the heads go down, and players just give up. And from total domination from West Ham, it was a different second half. The same thing we just talked about Spurs and Man City. It was a different second half. The boys came out firing, and I see believe in the team. It's been a while. We've seen believe in this Chelsea team. There's belief within the players. We have this fight now where it's not over until it's over. We saw it against Napoli on Wednesday, and we saw it.
You think this is sustainable? Like going behind and coming from behind to win games?
I think it's a new manager. He's still trying to figure out the players. He's still trying to figure out who to trust. He's still giving players the chance to prove that they belong to the team. So I am really, really impressed with how Chelsea went. Some players have, taking that charge. You see, the people like players like Enzo, where their stats are first, like their stats are overwhelming. It's really, really good. Palmer coming back to fitness. The Chalobah, you have Sanchez in the back, Cucurella. You saw in the second half when he brought all those substitutions in, it changed the whole game. West Ham couldn't. And I think from a tactical standpoint, the coach of West Ham, he goofed. He took off the attackers and played center, played more defenders, started to sit deep too early. And what happens when you start sitting deep too early is, the pressure just comes in and you just can't withstand it. So I'm really proud of Chelsea. I am now looking forward to a top four fight.
Yeah, I'm going to ask you, what do you think are possibilities for Chelsea, to achieve this season as a Chelsea fan?
I think as a Chelsea fan, I think a top three would be. I think that the top three will be a good.
How many
season.
points are you behind Villa now?
I think we are 6 points. No, we are. I think about 5 or 6 points behind Villa. No, we are 6 points behind Villa. We are 40. Villa is 46. So we are 6 points behind Villa, and I think we will be able to close that to get that.
I'm a little bit concerned with Chelsea. Okay, Ugun, let me ask you. You've seen Rosenia come in, and it looks like if you have paid attention to Chelsea, you kind of have an understanding of what his philosophy, the kind of football he wants to play for Chelsea. Do you think where that team is right now with the makeup of the team? And again, let's not forget the impact of the owners, because it looks like they're in a different world from the team. They just do their business thought. They don't really do the business with regards to how it's going to impact the squad as a team. They just do business separately, and the coach and the players have to figure themselves out. Do you think that the way he's approaching things in Chelsea, if he continues that way, he's going to be able to get Chelsea to where fans like if Mimi want the team to be?
Yeah, normally the way I look at these things, I try to stay consistent through the season unless I have serious reasons to change my views. Chelsea are contenders for this year. I said this. I said this in November. Nimi, please don't interrupt me. You can shake your head until it falls off. Yeah. Well, the fact is that Chelsea are contenders for the league this season. So at the end of the season, we'll have a wonderful show where we will get to know who the bottlers are and who they are. You guys like to use the word bottle. Yeah, we'll discuss bottling and what it means, and probably just hand bottles over to the actual bottlers. So, having said that, I really like Liam Rosenior, and this is not trying to make jokes. I like the coach. I like his body language. I said it from the first press conference. I knew he was doing well with Strasbourg in France, but just I hadn't watched any of his teams, to be honest. And when he signed for Chelsea, the first press conference, I saw the way he spoke. I knew that this kind of person would be a hit in the dressing room. He exuded confidence, exuded a real level-headedness, being able to talk confidently without being arrogant, if I can say that. Mm-hmm. And I knew this guy would probably be able to get on the same page with the players in the dressing room. And Chelsea, take it or leave it, Chelsea is quite, the dressing room is full of talent. There are a lot of talented players. Chelsea tend to buy excellent players. The only thing is that, they've bought more of the younger players. And we know that it's very hard to win the EPL without experienced players, right? I think that's what the squad is slowly trying to, forge together. The experienced players there are not as dependable. And the reason I say they are not as dependable is not their talent, it's just their temperament. And the person in mind when I say this is Caicedo. Caicedo is a leader in that team, but Caicedo's temperament keeps letting him down. It's made him lose. It's made him, get a lot of red cards, a lot of yellow cards, miss important games, right? And so when you have a leader that's supposed to be galvanizing the team, getting everybody on the same page, being the person that's missing due to indiscipline, then you have a problem, right? But this guy, I see Chelsea will finish in the top 4 from what I've seen, from what I can see from this coach and his potential. If everything keeps going, and there are no major injuries affecting key members of the team moving forward, I think they can finish top 4. But to me,
let me touch base with you. A lot of Chelsea fans, the beginning of the season, were champions. They were going to win the league, win Champions League, and all that. And here we are. So, as a rival fan, let me ask you, what do you think will stop Chelsea from achieving or being that thing that the Chelsea fans felt that the team was at the beginning of the season?
Interesting. You said, what do you think will stop Chelsea? I am of the opinion that Chelsea has been stopped already from winning the EPL a while. So I would say they've bottled it already. And this is because of the change in managers after the very rough patch. But I would echo Odunze's feelings or sentiment here. I love Rossoneri. He is very pragmatic and adaptable. Watch how he changed the game. We want to keep players for Arsenal, but we need the tempo and the belief and the emotional high to play Arsenal. So when we saw that this is not working, make changes. And we came back from nothing. That is a very pragmatic coach. I love his front football kind of high press nature of his game since Strasbourg. I love his formation. Sometimes he plays the 3-4-3 or the 4-2-3-1, depending. So it's very pragmatic. Again, I like that same sentiment that he is very confident without being arrogant. And there's a part I like to call honesty in his talk. When you see him talk, he just speaks like a lad you meet in the park. Very direct, very honest chatting. So I feel that Chelsea will be Chelsea's own problem, and that means, for instance, Caicedo, for instance, getting the cards. But beyond that, I think other teams are picking up at the same time Chelsea is picking up. So whether El Dorado, whether Nirvana, Chelsea is already too late to start experiencing any kind of high, in my opinion. So Manchester United is doing great right now. Carrick is doing an exceptional job there. So when would they hand over their position now as fourth to Chelsea? Okay, Chelsea. Name me. This question is for you. Will Liverpool lose all their matches to make you happy? I agree that Man City is terrible, but they're not terrible enough to fall off the top 4 right now, in my opinion. So you guys, you are where you will be to the end of the season or below. So 5th or downward, nothing more. You've done your best. So congratulations, you have a great coach. Congratulations if you win Arsenal and go for the EFL. Hold that strong to your heart. Else you hold a very big L to your heart. And apart from that, I will be celebrating with some bottles. You know what I mean?
You know what? It's good to change. I see Odunze play mind games here with all of these shenanigans. No Chelsea fan, even after winning Club World Cup, would have told you we're going to win the league. No Chelsea fan thought about the league. Nobody said.
Once you mention Chelsea, the rest of the guys world champions. I don't know.
We are world champions, but nobody said we'll win the league. The top 4, top 5. fourth, fifth. That was most Chelsea fans. So if we achieve,
Chelsea are in fourth position.
Wait. Now, if we achieve to third place, that is growth. That's where I see it. So, changing the narrative to say bottle, it's Osborne trying to change the narrative, and it's mind games. But I know it will not work. No Chelsea fan talked about winning the league.
No.
We said if
we move your mind back, I think in the around fifth or sixth week of this season, Chelsea was firmly. Their foot was firmly on the title race. They were second on the title.
No. Don't.
And Chelsea fans came out from nowhere and started making talking about.
I can guarantee you that those Chelsea fans were not real Chelsea fans. They were Arsenal fans masquerading as Chelsea fans. There was no right-thinking Chelsea fan after World Club Chat that said Chelsea.
Oh, why?
No, we can't win. We don't have the players. Or we don't have, it hasn't come to that stage yet. We haven't been challenging. So maybe if you say next season, we'll, top two, there has to be systematic growth. We were 10th, we went to 8th,
maybe the same you that announced Arteta 2 years, 3 years. So now you know that it takes time. You build your position.
Come on now.
Can I step in here for a bit, if you don't mind?
Yeah, go ahead.
I have a question. So do you believe, from what you said, that Chelsea is going to be part of the first three with the way the table looks like right now? Let me read the table for you to be certain. We have Arsenal with 53 points. We have Man City with 47 points. We've got Aston Villa with 46 points. We have Manchester United with 41 points and Chelsea at 40 points. Who is going to drop so much points that Chelsea will be in top three?
That's a very good question. I've always known you. I see you play soccer in real life. You're a giant there, and I'm seeing your analysis now. You're in there. I don't want you to come down and to Reggie's height or Osborne's height. But what I'm trying to tell you is this: the way I told you when Eldorado, out of 7 games we've won 6. I mean, out of 8 we've won 7. Sorry, the team is in form. I see Aston Villa dropping points, and if let's say Leon Rosina came maybe 10 games into the season, I will believe that we will try to challenge. But now it's too late. Arsenal and Man City will fight for that title race. But I don't see Manchester United continuing with this form, with what I've seen them play the last 3 games. Yeah, they've won, but I still see some little quagmires there, because Casemiro seems to be the glue in that team. The moment he gets injured, anything happens to Casemiro, I don't see Manchester United having the same flair.
We'll get to United.
Let me finish. Chelsea have Sanchez that's better than Raya. Their whole defense is better than Arsenal defense.
I don't understand this.
We can bring back the show. We have the show where you expressly said these words that I'm saying.
Combined 11 of Arsenal.
Yeah, we did combine 11. So how do you have a out of combined 11, you have 8?
You have 6 or 7 players.
6 or 7 players for Chelsea. And yet they are not contenders. I mean, you have a better team than the people contending, yet you're not contending. And you say I'm trying to play.
I have a good coach.
When I'm interpreting everything you said, the way you said it, right?
In everything you have to have context, Osborne. And now you're not bringing context with it. You're not bringing the context. But what I'm trying, everybody knows. I know you guys are
it's
just.
Good you recognize that there's context.
Everybody knows.
So you need to be mentioning context.
No, everybody knows that.
Finally, there's context.
Everybody
about just before we move on. For me, I see what you guys are saying. I've been saying it from even before a ball was kicked this season. I said Chelsea will not be in the title race. And one of my major reasons.
You are 100% right. Nobody said Chelsea will be in the title race.
I don't believe that the makeup of that team has
good enough.
But because of the preseason trophy that they just like Emery that they won.
I bet show respect. Which preseason
came into the season and we are thinking that they're going to win the league. And something happened within the first 6 weeks of the season. I looked at they were going to do it, and I remained adamant that they're not going to be in it. And talking about Rashina, yes, what you guys said about his demeanor is 100% correct. But there is something I'm looking at, and I'm a little bit worried about that team as well. And what it is the fact that, like you guys mentioned, he plays a lot on the front foot. And in EPL, it's hard to play that way and get stopped out of the season. You have to be pragmatic because everything comes with different challenge. You can't come with the same mentality every time. If you look at Chelsea under him, they tend to come back from games, and after a while, it's not going to work. Let's assume yesterday it was Brentford that scored 2 goals ahead of Chelsea. I don't see Chelsea coming back from those 2 goals. So he needs to. Yes, you guys say he's pragmatic, he's adaptable, but he needs to start to look at this league differently. It's different from the French league. That's, for me, is something that might stop Chelsea from maybe being a little bit higher in the table. Other than that, for neutrals, watching Chelsea now is good, it's fine. You want to enjoy the way Chelsea plays. But if you want to get results and win stuff, in England, maybe in Spain, maybe in France, you can do that. In England, you have to be a little bit more stingy with allowing opponents gaps behind your attack. So that's the way I say it. And
Watch Friendship TV right now.